I wanted to jump on tonight and talk to you about killing fat, but not the kind of fat on our bodies, those false assumed truths, those F.A.T as I call it, that fat that lives between our ears, those false assumed truths that we talk about and we tell ourselves all the time. And I thought, especially with the new year, it's the perfect time to talk about that. So hi, you guys. Thanks for joining me tonight. If you are joining me from wherever you're joining me from, let me know where you're chiming in from. I'd love to know who I'm talking to and where. And also the other thing I want you to share, if you're open to it, is your age. Share your age with me, because I find that I'm talking mostly to women in their 40s and their 50s. So me being 47, I love when I'm connecting with everybody, but especially you. So if you're close to my age, let me know that too, because I want to know that. Hi, you guys. Thanks for jumping on. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Natalie Jill. I'm a licensed master sports nutritionist and functional fitness trainer. And what I do is I kill fat for a living. And that's what I'm going to be talking about tonight. Not just the fat on our bodies, even though that's what I started in with fitness and nutrition, but those false assumed truths that we tend to tell ourselves over and over and over again that stop us from creating amazing results over and over again. So I'm going to dive into that. And I specifically love to help women in their 40s and 50s, because I know exactly what you're going through with those feelings of, I used to feel relevant, I used to feel hot, I used to feel amazing, and now maybe you feel like it's too late, or the ship has sailed, or the time has passed. So I love speaking directly to you. I know what you're going through, what you're dealing with, and that's what I want to jump into tonight. So I'm on Instagram and Facebook right here, so I want to chat with all of you, and of course, ask me questions. I'm going to be chiming in back to that. And hey, Rhonda. Hi, Sherry. Hey, Yvonne. Hi, you guys. And on Instagram, if you're chiming in, let me know your name too, because I only see like racecar22 or, you know, con.nickel. I'd love to know your name. So hi, you guys. So first of all, what is a false assumed truth? What is it? It's something that we make up and we tell ourselves, and it becomes what I call a self-imposed stop. And I say that because we literally are self-imposing it on ourselves, and it's what stops us. It's what stops us from creating and achieving amazing goals. It's those beliefs, those limiting beliefs that we start forming and believing. For example, a self-imposed stop would be, I'm too old, or it's too late, or I'm too injured, or I've tried everything. Have any of you ever said or thought, I've tried everything? And it's almost a rhetorical question, because I know a lot of you say that. I've tried everything. I've done everything. Or how about, nothing works for me, I'm different? Have you said that? All of those are self-imposed stops and also false assumed truths, because they're not factual. They're based on something that you have formed a belief around, and you've found evidence to help support that, but they are not factual. And they are the biggest thing stopping you from achieving goals. It's not having the right diet plan, or the right workout, or having the right boss, or the right friend. It's not any of that. It's these self-imposed stops that you've created, and you've found evidence to support those that hold you back. So when you can recognize them and shift them, it creates possibility for everything. I love talking into age, for instance, because so many women come to me and the first thing they say is, I'm too old. They think, I'm too old. And they go on to say what it used to be like for them when they were 20, or what it used to be like for them when they were 30, or all of the examples of 20 and 30-year-olds out there doing it. And they have this belief that they're too old, so nothing's going to work for them. Well, if you think that and you believe that, no matter what I give you, you're going to have this belief that you're too old and it's too late. So you're never going to achieve those goals. However, if I start giving you evidence of people your age and older that have done it, and I start showing you proof of all these people that have done whatever it is that you're saying you can't do, you might start to change your belief system. But your comfort's always going to lie in the, I'm too old, it's too late, right? That's your comfort. That's what you've been telling yourself. So it takes an interruption, and it takes work to start shifting that belief so you have a new belief. It takes work to do that. So how do we do that? You guys want to know how you do that? Because this is the thing that is in your gap between getting those results. It's those false assumed truths and those self-imposed stops. So how do we do that? Number one is we start to recognize what they are. You've got to identify, what are these self-imposed stops? What are those things I'm telling myself? And you do that by literally creating a list. Like, what are those things you're telling your brain, telling yourself all day long? Do you say, I'm too old, I'm too fat, it's too late, I'm too injured, this doesn't work for me, I'm different? Do you tell yourself these things? What are they? You have to recognize them first. The more you can recognize them, that's the first step to being able to shift them. So write down, what are those things that you're telling yourself? If you're stuck on what those are, I bet your friends and family know. Ask your husband, ask your spouse, ask your friends. What are those things that I keep saying over and over again that are in my gap right now? Because they all know. They all hear what it is that you're saying. They know that voice that you're saying when you look in the mirror, when you're not wanting to go out, when you don't want to do something. What are those things that you're saying? Or when your friend says, I'm trying this new thing, and you say, well, that won't work for me because. Those are your self-imposed stops. So write those out first, get really clear with what those are so you can start to have some power over them. Once you know what those are, the next step would be, ask yourself, why do you believe those? Like, where does that come from? Why do you believe those things to be true? So for instance, you're saying, I'm too old. Why do you believe that? Is it because media tells you that? Is it because you saw that at a certain age things happen? Is it because all of your friends that age are telling you something to be true? But understand why it is that you have that belief. Like, why do you believe that you're too old or it's too late? Why is that? Look at what that is. That's step number 2. The third step would be to start telling yourself the opposite. Now, how do you do that? How do you tell yourself the opposite? It's simple. You just tell yourself the opposite. Instead of saying to yourself in your head every day, I'm too old, I'm fat, I'm ugly, whatever it is, you're going to literally say the opposite. You're going to say the opposite. I love to share that I'm aging backwards. I say it over and over again. I'm aging backwards. At 47, I'm aging backwards. I say it so much that I believe it, and it becomes the truth. And other people start to see that, and they make that their truth. So it starts with just literally telling yourself the opposite. So you're not going to say, I'm weak. You're going to say, I'm working on stronger. You're not going to say, I'm fat. You're going to say, I'm getting toned. I'm fit. The more you say it, the more you believe it. Have any of you ever seen that movie? What is the name of that movie? Amy Schumer's in it. It's so good. Oh, I Feel Pretty. It's such a good movie. You have to get that movie if you have not seen it yet. It's called I Feel Pretty. And long story short is, she's an average girl, little overweight in the movie. And she is down on herself, not feeling good about herself. And she has an accident, bumps her head. It's a comedy movie, by the way. She bumps her head, and she wakes up and she looks in the mirror, and she literally thinks she's a supermodel. She sees a supermodel. Nobody else sees this supermodel, but she sees this supermodel in the mirror. And her whole life starts to change because she believes that she's a supermodel now. Everything starts to work for her. She makes more money. She gets a relationship. Her friends change. Everything starts to work for her because she believes she's a supermodel. Nothing physically changed on her. Nothing physically changed. All that changed was her belief in herself and what she saw. She had a self-imposed stop, and she shifted that. What people see on the outside, what you see on the outside does not matter. What matters is what you believe in your mind. So you tell yourself the opposite. That's number 3. You tell yourself the opposite. The next thing, number 4, is you find evidence of the opposite. Find evidence. We tend to want to hurt ourselves comparing to things that we're not, right? So if you're in your 40s or 50s and you're only looking at women in their 20s accomplishing goals that you want, that's not helping you. That's not helping you because you're going to have this constant comparison story going on that she's doing it because she's young. I'm too old. So you find others in your age group that are doing it. If you decide you want to start a business and you've been a homemaker, or you've been working in corporate America, you've been doing something else for years and years and years, and you believe it's too late, and you have lots of friends and everybody else telling you it's too late, you get to find the opposite. Who can you find that did what you're trying to do? Who can you find that left corporate America and started their own career? Who can you find that's been a homemaker for years and years that's starting a business? Who can you find evidence to show you something else? That's how you start to shift that belief. That's how you start to shift it. And you could do that with everything. You're injured. You're told that you're never going to heal. Something hurts. Something's not working. Fine. I'm sure you can find lots of things on the internet that support that it's not going to work. But guess what? You can also find evidence of people that overcame it. So find those. Find the people that are going to show you that you can overcome it and help you get past that. Don't get stuck on Google on why it doesn't work and finding others to commiserate and be miserable with you. That doesn't help. You know, my slogan is excuses or solutions, you decide. And some people don't like that, and that's fine. But I stand by that because by me validating excuses for you, I'm creating a self-imposed stop for you, and I'm making it so nothing is possible. That's not good coaching. If I tell you that your excuse is valid, then it stops you. You have no option. When a doctor tells you you're never going to walk again, or you're not going to live, or whatever it is, as soon as you believe that, it becomes the truth. So it's finding evidence of the opposite. There's always evidence of the opposite. My podcast, I have a podcast called Leveling Up, Creating Everything from Nothing. And on that podcast, I feature people that have created massive shifts in their life from literally nothing. From literally nothing. I talk a lot about one of my favorite interviews on there, Janine Shepherd. She was an Olympic athlete. She was in a horrible accident. She was hit by a truck. She was paralyzed training for the Olympics, paralyzed. Told by every doctor she saw she would never walk again, to give up her dream. She would never walk again. She chose to not let that become her self-imposed stop. She could find all kinds of evidence of why she would not be able to walk again and why she's doomed and whatever, but she chose to not let that stop her. Instead, she looked for evidence of people that overcame that. And today, not only has she taught herself to walk again, is she a walking paraplegic now, she also taught herself to be an aerobatic pilot. It's incredible. It's incredible. All because she refused to listen to those self-imposed stops. She refused to own those. She found evidence of the opposite, and that's all she let in. And this is huge. This is huge. The next thing, take actions to prove people wrong. Take actions to prove people wrong. I'm going to show you guys. Many of you have seen this, but this is me 11 years ago. This is me as a new mom, me holding my daughter. Now, what's unique about this picture? Nothing maybe to you, but to me, what's unique is I'm 5'2". I'm 5'2", and this is 11 years ago. And I was 60 pounds heavier than I am now when I had my daughter. Not because of pregnancy and just gaining weight because of hormones, but that's because I ate a lot of McDonald's. It's true. And I didn't move, and I was depressed, and this is what happened to me. When my daughter was born, I remember asking the doctor if the placenta weighed 50 pounds because she weighed 6 pounds. She was a little over 6 pounds. And the rest of that was stuff I had put on me. And I remember after I had her, the weight not going away and me being in a really hard time in my life. And I remember seeing glimpses of myself in the mirror, or I remember particularly walking by and seeing reflections of myself in a window when I'd be walking her and my dogs outside. And I remember thinking, having the thought, maybe that's what happens. That's what happens. Maybe you get older, you have kids, you know, you put on weight, and that's just what happens. And I remember deciding that for a moment. And the truth of the matter is, I could have found all kinds of friends and media and a million places to support that's what happens, because there's always people to validate things, right? I could find a million people to validate that for me. And I could have stayed that way, and all of you would have been fine with it, right? Nobody would have cared. You would have all been fine with it. But I had a vision. I had a different vision. And I decided that's not who I was. And I decided that not only, I was in my late 30s, and not only was I going to get fit, but I decided randomly that I was going to become a fitness model at the time. I don't know why I wanted to do that, but that's what I wanted to do at the time. And when I told friends that goal, when I declared it, they laughed at me. I mean, friends laughed at me. It was so out there, but I refused to listen to it. And I declared I'm going to be a fitness model. And let me just show you guys something. So this was me, my 30s, my late 30s. I decided to be a fitness model in my late 30s. I'm 47 now. I've been on now 11 magazine covers, one being last year. My friends laughed at me when I told them that. And now I'm evidence that you can do it. I'm evidence now that you can do it. And I was laughed at. I could have easily found evidence and been enrolled in staying this. This could have been me. All kinds of evidence to support that. But I started taking actions to a vision I had, and I made it different, and I became an example. I became an example for something else. So take actions to prove people wrong. Take actions to prove people wrong. I'm just going to show you some of my clients here. This is Terry. I love showing Terry's pictures. This is Terry when I met her. That's her. She had all kinds of people telling her that this is how she should be. This is what happens when we get older. This is what happens. This is Terry now. This is Terry now. She had to change those false assumed truths. She had to decide that this was possible, and that's what she became. That's what she became. So many of those stories. Here's another one. This is Karen. I met Karen here. This is Karen now. Yes, she did my diet. Yes, she did my nutrition, but that's not what shifted her. What shifted her was changing her mindset. What shifted her was deciding that it was possible. What shifted her was getting rid of those self-imposed stops and deciding enough was enough, that she's going to find examples of people that have done it. This is Nicole. This is another one. When I met Nicole, this was her. She had all kinds of reasons that this was her. She's big bone, slow metabolism, all kinds of reasons. This is Nicole now. What shifted was not just the diet and the workout. I can tell you exactly what diet and workout she did. That's fine. I could tell you what that is. But that's not what changed her. That's not what took her from here to here. What took her from there to there was changing her mindset, changing her state, and deciding it was possible, and getting rid of those false assumed truths, getting rid of those self-imposed stops, deciding and declaring that this was going to be a change, that this was going to happen. And she made a difference. So take actions and prove them wrong. Decide it, take actions and start proving them wrong. The next thing is you get to practice this daily. You know, massive action does get results. You can take massive action and get results. We all know that, but that's not so simple. And what happens with massive action is we get overwhelmed. Can you relate to that? Like you think I have to do all these things. I got to change my diet. I got to change this. I got to change that. I got to work out. I got to do all these things. And what happens is you get frozen and you don't start. You don't start because it's this big, long list of massive action. So what I'm going to tell you is don't worry about the massive action. Take steps. Do one step at a time. Put one step in front of the other. What can you do right now today? What can you do that's going to get you better than yesterday? What can you do that's going to get you better than the day before? How can you take one step forward every day and eventually you get there? Eventually you get there with one step forward every day. It's not about taking these massive actions. You can make massive decisions and you can make massive declarations, but those actions, it's those baby steps every day. It's those baby steps every day. I'm gonna take questions. I'm on a roll here with this. I can keep going, but I'm gonna take some questions. Hi, Shelly. I see you. She's saying, how bad do you want it? Yes. I don't know if that was a question for me, but she's making a statement there. Yes. How bad do you want it? And that key is what I started this video with tonight. It's changing that state. It's killing those false assumed truths, that fat, not the fat on your body. It's the false assumed truth between your ears. It's killing that off first. And they are self-imposed. You self-impose this. You can decide to have something different. Because I'm going to tell you before I forget, because I'm on this roll here, what I want to share is that there's a class that I'm doing. It's free. I've been doing it. Some of you have been on it already. I've done it 3 times now. I'm doing it again tomorrow. It's totally free. And all you do, and I'm going to type it here on Facebook, is you go to www.nataliebillclass.com and you can sign up totally for free. I'm doing a masterclass tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to do it at 3 p.m. Pacific time. And I'm going to actually be able to see you. You can see me. It's a live interactive class where I'm going to dive really deep into this on how you can shift this for 2019 so that you have lasting results. So if you, all you do is go to that link. Brooks, can you go on Instagram my live and type that link, please, pretty please, so it can stick there. Natalie Jill class, and I'm going to pin it there for you. That way you can sign up, and we're going to send you an email right away so that you know how to sign up for that class tomorrow that we're doing. Your Instagram, my Instagram live. On your phone, go to Instagram live. Oh. My husband, say hi. Say hi. Hello. That's Brooks. I'm asking Brooks to go on my Instagram so he can type that link for you guys.
I was unsure.
He was unsure of what I was asking. So yeah, if you go to that, I'm gonna do a free masterclass tomorrow on exactly how to do this. On exactly how to do this. Oh, thanks, Nat. Natalia's on. Hey, Natalia. If you guys are not following Natalia Kern, make sure you do that. She just chimed in on Facebook. She's awesome. Oh, look, now we got double now. Now we got 3.
Video of a video of a video.
Yeah, video of a video of a video. Yes. Yes, can men join too? Yes, they can join, absolutely. Anybody's welcome to join. I wanna just be really clear that who I'm talking to are women in their 40s and their 50s. That's the stuff that I'm sharing for. But yes, men, anyone can get anything out of that class. So absolutely, you can totally be on that too. Men can join. Let's see.
I just posted it.
Oh, you did? Let's see if we can find it here. There we go. Pin. Let's see. I've yet to master the art of pinning comment. There we go. Pinned. Yay. Thank you.
You have to go to Pinterest.
No, you don't. You're on Instagram. Very funny. Funny man. Yes. Is it the same? Jennifer, yes, it's the same one I did last night. So if you attended, you don't have to again. Sometimes you can come back on. You're more than welcome to. I've done it 3 times now. It's a little bit different every time, and I'm always there to answer questions. So it's totally up to you. But yes, it will be the same topic as I did last night, Jennifer, if you want to join. Thank you, Pam. She said it's a great course. If you guys have not been on that yet, then definitely sign up. It's a totally free class. And even if you can't attend that time at 3 p.m., sign up for it because we're going to send you the replay right after. Do something you want to say? You just want to look cute.
I'm just laughing.
Why are you laughing?
How do you not give in to temptation?
Oh.
She makes me hide it from her.
What do you mean?
That's how you don't give into temptation.
Oh, are you talking about like food right there? Yes, good question. Hey, she's asking, how do you give into temptation? I have Brooks hide it from me. That's a true story. That's a true story.
And she's only 5'2", so I just...
It's easy to hide things. Now I know they're up high. Got to get a ladder. Got to get a ladder. Now, the truth of the matter is with temptation is a couple things. One is get to the root of what it is that your goal is first. That get really clear on what it is that you want to accomplish and what you want to achieve. That's step number one. And then once you're really clear on that and what it is that you want, it makes it a lot easier to stick overall. Now, I'm not going to lie and say that I'm perfect because I'm absolutely not perfect.
Yes, you are.
I, of course, eat things that I love that are tempting, that are off plan and whatever, and that's totally okay. But it is about moderation. And when you're doing the right things 95% of the time, there is room for not being so perfect a lot of the times. So how do I not give in to temptation? It's about doing the right things the majority of the time, adding in mostly the good, making less room for the bad, and not even bringing things into the house. I'm really good about not bringing things into the house. And if I do, like every now and then, some C's candy might make it in here, you have the husband hide it and he dishes it out in small portions. That's what I do for that. That's what I do for that. Yeah. Kathy, hi Kathy, sounds awesome. Yes, sometimes he forgets this. Yes, Pam, he definitely forgets to hide the C's box sometimes.
No, because I set it out and then she moved it so I couldn't rehide it again. That was
well,
her own
here
little
we go
ploy.
with a little story. A little ploy, is that what you said? No, you left it out for me, so I ate it. That's what happened.
So here we are taking responsibility for our actions.
Let's see, Rocky, I need to lose 40 pounds. How long would it take? So my rule of thumb with the weight is approximately 10 pounds a month is a safe zone. So when you first start to lose weight, especially if you're going from eating totally unhealthy to cleaning it up, typically 5 to 7 pounds week one is normal because you're not just losing fat, you're gonna lose excess bloat, excess water. You're gonna lose a lot of extra bad stuff too as you're losing. And then after that, about 2 pounds of fat per week is a safe zone. So if you do the math on that, that's about 8 to 10 pounds a month overall. That is average and normal. So for 40 pounds, 4 months is very realistic. Any faster than that would get into the risky zone. So I hope that helps answer your question. Let's see, more questions.
Somebody was asking about it.
About what?
Is it
yes, is it the same? Yeah.
Is it the same one?
I answered her.
Yeah,
I answered her. And Brooks is going to join me on the Zoom tomorrow too. Oh, and you guys, okay, this is the other big thing. This is the other big thing. My favorite thing to do always is my breakthrough weekends. And I see some of you on here that have been to my breakthrough weekends. Breakthrough weekends are incredible because it's some of these girls I showed you, like Nicole here, like Terry here, a lot of them. Like Karen, say Karen here, Susanna. These are all women that attended my breakthrough weekend. And what that does is if some of this resonated with you about those false assumed truths and self-imposed stops and changing your mindset, what happens during a breakthrough weekend is we go deep into the root of what's holding you back. And we also get really laser clear on your vision and what it is that you want to create. So we help you in a small group get really clear on what it is that you want to create. And when you're in an environment focusing on just yourself with a small group of women for those few days, there's no other distractions and it really sticks. You're in an environment that's going to help up level you and help create a zone for you to get these results. So it's an experience versus just watching a course or reading a book or listening to a podcast. It's an actual experience where you're really immersed in this for a few days and it sticks and lasting results come from that. It's my favorite thing to do. This year I'm doing 2 of them. I've done 3 before. I'm doing 2 of them this year. If you have any interest in applying, make sure you apply. All you do is go to www.nataliejillfitness.com/apply. And I just typed it on Facebook right there, and you can actually apply. And we have a bunch of applications that have been coming in. We've been looking at all of them. We're putting together 2 groups of 10, and that's it. This is not free, by the way. It's not free. So I want to be really clear about that. I have lots of free stuff like this class right now and the class I'm doing tomorrow. But this is definitely a paid thing. It's intense, and we only are going to be doing 2 this year with 10 in each. And the lucky people in those groups get to coach with this guy, too.
I'm working on my splits.
He's working on your splits. Will you share what you do with the coaching? Please, at breakthrough.
It's going back to the root cause. It's not what you're eating, it's what's eating you. So just to keep it in simple terms, the you know, when those triggers, the limiting beliefs, the stories that are holding you back, the perfectionism, the procrastination, the not good enough, not worthy, not lovable, you know, all those things. And even when you do start to lose a few pounds, that it turns into a Friday and you slip and eat a large pizza and go to 3 buffets, and you basically undo everything you've been working so hard for. And you keep doing that over and over and you wonder why. That's what we get to the bottom of.
Brooks is good. So in addition to the breakthrough weekends, we're doing small group coaching with that group that goes through those. So I would love to have you in there. Let's see, I'm gonna take a few more questions. And you guys, yes, there is a payment plan for that. So if you're open to it, just apply if you're open. Even if we have the price on there so you can check it out. Apply if you're at all interested. And we're taking a look at those applications. We're gonna be pairing groups together that are somewhat similar.
Just fill out the application. That's the most important thing.
Fill out the application. Let's see. A few more questions. What's your advice on what went quick? You went too quick, babe. Oh, hi Karen. Yeah, that was Karen. Hi, Karen's on. I just showed your picture. Did you see it? Karen said it was her best investment. This is Karen. Who is that, Karen? I just know this hottie right now. That's Karen. Karen attended Breakthrough Weekend. She's amazing. Karen's incredible. She said, best investment ever. Love you, Karen. Awesome. Yes, I would love you guys on. If you have any questions about it, if you're interested at all, fill out the application so we can take a look at it, and we might actually be calling you. You never know. You might get a call from one of us. So fill it out if you're at all interested. And I hope to see you guys on our live class tomorrow. We're going to go a lot deeper into this. It's a lot better being on that private call tomorrow because we can actually see you. I can hear you. Feels more like you're sitting with me. You know what I mean? Versus me just talking to my phone right now. We'll go a little bit deeper.
Yep.
So I'd love to see you on. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Whoops.
And that little voice will probably say, oh, they won't call me. Don't even waste your time. Don't even do it. Because that's just trying to keep you safe. Just push through and do it. Because a couple of people I've called, like that was their,
yes.
That's basically just your ego, your subconscious trying to keep you safe, trying to keep you stuck in the pattern that you're in. That's just how the brain works. And we go into that as well. But yeah, if you're at all interested, it's a really quick application, just a simple Google Doc, just click, drop down, maybe type a few things. But yeah, definitely do it. That's the first step.
Amazing. So for the free class tomorrow, nataliejillclass.com. You got to put a www, nataliejillclass.com. And if you want to apply for Breakthrough Weekend, it's nataliejillfitness.com/apply. Hope to see you guys in the class tomorrow. Bye.